Sanibonani and welcome to Daily Thetha. My name is Kini Shandu and namhlanje sikhuluma about ama-auditions. Abantu abasha abaningi bakhala about these auditions. But why kusamele ngiye kuma-auditions if kuzothathwa ama-celebrities as well? That's what we're going to be finding out ukuthi ahamba kanjani from ama-casting agencies to abantu asebemkantshubomvu kwi-industry bazobe besifundisa ukuthi yini abangayenza abantu abasha ukuze bezibone sebefana no-Nicolette nabo ngelinye ilanga behamba ngey'monto ey'phezulu bahlala endaweni ey'phezulu bebe nemali, yeah? That's what ngihoki spotlight lapha kwenzakalani.
You know, Kini, for me, what's really important about this conversation, people must understand it's a journey.
Yeah.
And you have to understand what the journey is. And people don't know what I actually auditioned for Daily Thetha for a good 3 months. 3 months, up and down, 6 times.
But that's what we're talking about today. Give us a call, it's 011-339-1315 or find us in Kundenzo Kumana. The hashtag is #DailyThetha. Welcome to Daily Thetha. Asiqaleni esayidini lakho Nicolette sizwe bathina abantu abasha about these auditions agcwele kangaka.
I think before the question, we have to appreciate it's a very, very emotional conversation today. But let's start with you, my brother. Do you think the industry iyabula for new faces?
Yeah, the industry is slowly but surely opening up. I won't lie. I mean, there are programs whereby you see new faces, you know? But we can never also take away the fact that the guys, like we're complaining about City, they've been working, they've been on TV. They worked, guys, you know what I mean? They worked to get there. So now we also need to work hard to also get to that pedestal whereby Nati Basfonela every day, you know? So we can't just look at it in a way that, but the industry, slowly but surely, it is opening up.
But it's I mean, I hear you're saying, Guti, even the people that are in the industry right now, but they've worked. How do I start working if I'm not given an opportunity to work?
Guys, you have to start somewhere.
Okay.
You have to start. I'll make an example by myself.
Yeah.
I started off as an extra. From there, that's when I started making all the dots. I started connecting all the dots to where I'm currently am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes you just sit there. For example, I worked as an agent before, you know? And this is one thing I always told people when they came to sign up. Guys, you must always call. Once in a while, pop in, you understand? Because there's so many people in the agency's book. We can't always think about, oh, okay, we only have Nicolette. So, you know what I mean? You always have to be there so that abantu bazokona na ukumbula, you understand? But then sometimes the industry goes quiet, guys, and we can't blame our casting agencies whatsoever, you know. So now you must start somewhere, build relationships, go out there, be willing to work, and not just sit at home and be like, I'm waiting for that one call, you know. And another thing, people, they think that acting is acting. Acting is not acting. As an actor, you have to become the character, so you have to do a lot of research about the character that you want to play. Because I also worked like as a casting director, and I've seen people like come in and you can tell this person is not prepared, you know what I mean? So as an actor, you have to prepare, and you have to go out there and make sure that you are chasing your dream and not sit at home and wait for that one call.
All right. I mean, that's a very interesting perspective. You know, as Mutu who wants to be in the industry, do a little bit of research. Go out there and find out what's actually happening instead of sitting at home. And sometimes our problem is that we want the big roles.
Abafuna abantu ukuqala phansi banyuke bephezulu. But you have uThulila next to me on a frustration naye about ama auditions nangendlela okuqashwa ngakhona kwi-industry. What is your frustration, Thuli? I'm sure ama casting directors alalele njengamanje.
Well, frustration yami ukuthi izinto esisibhekayo, you know, mabathi bafuna new talent, but they end up baqasha umuntu one experience. And then mina as a person kuzomela ngenzeni mabathi futhi bafuna ukubona ukuthi nginama follower angakanani. Kuzomela ngenzeni ukuthi for me to get there ukuthi nami ngibe nama followers so that they can take me serious. Does that mean mele ngenze i-sex tape ukuthi wonke umhlaba ungazi? But then what is that doing to me? Because angifuni ukusportray njengomuntu ozokhunjulwa nge-sex tape. Nephupho lokuba the influential woman,
your microphone, please.
Like empower younger woman. But then if I'm famous, I'm your actor somewhere because now they're looking good. I'm a followers. How many people I'm bringing into the table?
Okay. I think whatever you have njengamanje sizoba nabantu on the couch abazophendula zonke lezo zinto ukuthi how do we move forward as men as njengalezo. But physics, wena physics uyakwazi ukuthi uzikhandela wakho ama movies, you don't wait for people to create ama chances for you. Tell us about your story.
Mina ngile nga-attend ama-audition kaningi kakhulu futhi and futhi ngile ngaba-judge kuma-auditions.
Yeah.
You know, into engenza ukuthi ngingasawa-attend is because kuthini abanye, not bonke, benza ama-audition ekubeni abantu sebabatholile kumele ukuthi bawo-actor. Ngizwisisa. Just kuthini they move around kwindawo just kuthini because kune-budget esenza ukuthi kumele senze lapho. So into, and I was part of leyo process bengi-judge yabona. So then kwaba nabantu abangaba-select there. Ngizwisisa labo bantu labo mina ngaba-selector ngenza nabo i-movie yami. And so that movie yaba the best movie in Mpumalanga right now. And usually mina I don't do ama-auditions mangishoot ama-movie wami.
Okay.
Usually no, just post on social media. If you're an actor, send me your profile. Because into ebalulekile these days ukuthi mele uyenze ukuthi iba ne-profile in order for you ukuthi bakwazi.
I know Nicolette, you have a question to physics njengamanje, but phela ngibona unqa kusikhanda ma-physics uvumelana na what's the story?
No, I think my biggest problem is that as a presenter, there's a lot of recycling that happens. So the briefs say that we're looking for new talent, but fact is the producers and the directors will still take an established person. So you are out there, you're not just a wannabe, you are out there, you're honing your craft, you're working on yourself every day. But all doors just seem to shut right into your face. But all the briefs that go out there say, we are looking for new talent. And what we fail to realize is that if you guys as the media mavericks and the cornerstones of this industry do not invest in us as young talent, as young people, then does the whole industry has a future? Does it have a future if we are just going to lay back and watch established people taking over every show after every show after every show? Who is going to open the door for me? I think that is my biggest question.
Okay.
All right, but
Yes,
yeah,
sir, Nicolette?
and I think a question, let's perhaps Rkhane devil's advocate here, right? Truly, following, people are asking you about a following, right? Then there's an issue of an established actor or an established presenter, you know, new talent. Is it not a business? Is it not a bottom line? Because at the end of the day, as a production company, channel, give it a channel where my show is going to pop. And for it to pop, it's easier for Kibarke with an established artist or Kibarke with a person who's got a big following, or perhaps maybe people will watch the show.
But maybe the question is, does the following Yako translate to numbers of viewers? That's, I think, another question that we should see back on Ukamba West Kati as well.
And definitely, I think it's worth exploiting that question. But I mean, we've got big household names in South Africa who do get the big gigs, right? Now, the question is, if you were a production company, who would you want to cast, especially if Channel is saying to you, this show of yours must make money?
Okay. I personally feel that this attitude towards people who have like more experience or who are on the bigger shows, it's not per se to say that this person has experience and they will translate as a better candidate, but necessarily it's more about, okay, if you see Mini Dlamini on TV, okay, cool, she can do it and everything, but that doesn't mean that she's not good enough as well. Like, you cannot limit someone according to what you feel like, no, I have the opportunity, give me more of the opportunity and everything. If Mini Dlamini can present and she can act, who are you to limit her as well? But I also think from a producer's perspective that you need to also consider that we're in the country, there's like 5,000 more people around that have talent and whatnot. But as well, like you mentioned earlier, that the industry does go quiet and stuff like that. Solely, we also need to shift the conversation, not only blaming the people who are running these shows and everything, but rather, are you as a viewer supporting these people? Are you not just looking at them like, oh, I could do better. Oh, that should be me. You shouldn't be looking at someone's position and feeling the need to replace them, but ask, okay, how does Mini do it? Let me take notes. Let me find out. So I feel like we shouldn't shift it and always find someone to blame. Sometimes you need to reflect on yourself and check if you're good enough if you're blaming someone else.
All right, it's very interesting because, and that's what we're going to be asking. If you want America wa mini, are you good enough for to get America wa mini?
Yeah, maybe buya kulula but masukubele wenza kuba esinye story. Let's find out on social media about Batina about uhlelo namhlanje. To follow an audition is a chance to sell your talent, your personality. Hence it can be such a fun process. However, when you are desperate and broke, it can turn out to be such a gruesome and a demeaning process. That's what we're talking about. To find out ekhaya ukuthi wena uthini, now as phone that's 011-339-1315. Sikhuluma ngama auditions namhlanje. Something so calculator.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha. Ntse re lebeletse taba ya di auditions. Ra chiba gore ke sello man because mmereko go o nyaka, and if you've got a passion for the media space, you just want to go out there and just be given opportunity, chance, just so that I can showcase. But the reality is that, you know, it's a small industry in South Africa that we've got. Mmereko aushio, and even the people that I established, they want to banyaka mmereko onone. We are joined on the couch by Lisa Mudisan, who is an acting agent, and then also Gabriela Chirillo, who's also a casting director, but also an actress yourself. Welcome to Daily Thetha.
Thank you for having us.
Let's jump straight into this conversation. We've got this assumption, ya gore the auditions, man, it's supposed to be fun, and it's not a job, and it's not a serious thing for production companies. Maybe perhaps, Sis Lisa, if you can tell us a little bit, the function of the auditions ke eng?
So let's go back with the process. What happens is there's a production house. They're commissioned by a broadcaster to have a particular show. And they have these characters. They send out briefs to acting agencies. And then as acting agents, we look to see who on our books was best suited for that role. So they'll say to me, hypothetically speaking, you can only send 4 people for that role. Meanwhile, I've got 8 people who could be very right for that role. So as an acting agent, always look, is your CV up to date? Do I have pictures of you? Are those pictures showing you is there versatility in the pictures? So that when I put you forward for a particular role, the production house can envisage you.
So the picture can't just always be me with my good sides.
No, it's not always just that. Sometimes you really got to rough it up. It has to show versatility. Then we forward it to the production house. They then select. So as agents, we don't always have control on who they see. We try and push, we try and motivate to please see Lisa, please see Lerato for the particular role. And then you go to that audition. And that's why research is very important. I like what another one of your panelists said earlier. You've got to research the character. If you're going to play a journalist who's based in Rwanda, you've got to know what's happening in Rwanda. You can't get there looking glam, bright makeup. You've got to look like a journalist, you know? And you've got to prepare. You've got to have something that's special, that X factor.
Gabriela, Physics on my side said something that sometimes people just do these auditions for fun. Can you just do audition for fun? And how costly is audition to a production house?
Well, no, you cannot just audition for fun because it does cost them their time. They're paying for the casting director, they're paying for my team, they're paying for the product. So we, as casting directors, we generally charge per category. So if we have to cast 4 characters, we're charging per character because it takes us time, and then we have to edit the footage, then we have to make our selections or recommendations. So it is a costly thing. It goes into the budget for these production.
But what I get from the house is that most people think, Uguti, when you guys say we're looking for someone, you already know who you're looking for. Is that the case in most cases? Hence we're seeing similar faces?
Okay, so when we, for example, as a casting director, I've cast for television series and commercials. A lot of the time, directors have someone in mind, but they like to open the door to see what's out there. We've had a lot of incidences where we have said, right, okay, I've looked at 100 people. My recommendation is these 6. And it does happen where they say, right, what are the Instagram handles? What are the Facebook handles? Because like you said before, it's a business and it's instantly marketable. However,
so me with my 2,000 followers versus somebody with their 100,000 followers, I mean, it means that my
there's
chance...
no competition. Because it is, at the end of the day, it is a business. And the producers and directors need to know that their product is going to be marketable. So as a businesswoman myself, I get it. And as an actor, I understand the frustration in artists out there who are going, but I'm knocking on this door and it's just not opening. I do get it. But guys, rest assured that there are productions that are looking for new faces. The thing is, the reality is, there's not a lot of work out there.
Let me come to Lebohile on the side. I want to find out from you as a media person that as many as Pegana Nasunjenga Manje, where the numbers actually means a lot, especially with Mabe Caster, does that Ingasho Inuguti we be losing more talent because we're looking for celebrities over the talent now?
It's a very difficult one to answer because I sit in a position where I audition people, and sometimes the timelines are so short. And as much as you want really fresh faces, we don't have the time to be training people how to read auto cue, how to understand cameras, for example. At the same time, I do understand there's some content on television that's very personality driven. So, for instance, I sit in a radio space. When people tune in, they tune in for Relebogile. So it's very specific to me. Whereas where I'm playing a role in Isidingo, it's not really that important. My following, it's can I carry the role of playing a mayor, for example. But at the same time, and as much as I've been doing this for about 15 years now, I still have to go to audition. I'm auditioning after the shoot. You know what I'm saying? And people will know who you are before you go in. They know what your following is, but they still want to see, can I picture my product with you? Can you drive what I'm trying to sell? But at the same time, I'm going to reiterate what you said. There is always room for new talent. I just find that sometimes, as young people, we don't want to read the brief. We don't want to see, am I right for this? We don't want to prepare. I've rarely met a person who says in my free time, I'm reading scripts and I'm practicing.
I once listened to your radio show and you're talking about something that youth of today, they don't want to start from the bottom. Is that the case today in the industry?
This thing of, hi, Relebogile, how many retweets for you to put me on your TV show? No. Like one of my platforms is a music TV show where Jonas Gwangwa and Huma Segela have performed on that stage. How can I invite you based on retweets? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think we've got this mentality of entitlement, but popular, but there's some spaces that maybe you can open the door using your popularity, but you definitely won't be in the industry 20 years later and sustaining yourself if you don't have the talent.
Yeah. Perhaps this brings us, Lisa, back into the conversation. If I am going to go, let's say, for instance, I don't take a Relebogile Kitsama with a new face totally, right? What's the cost of now having to market that person?
You know what? I started my agency 12 years ago. And when we started the agency, it was an exciting time because there were new productions coming onto TV and the different broadcasters bringing out many shows. And a lot of my talent came from AFTA, Pretoria Tech, from Wits Drama, Cape Town. And sometimes there was just people who had no talent. They just came in and auditioned for us, literally. And the beauty is watching this person investing in their career. There's one of the girls on my books, Lusanda. Lusanda was actually on maternity leave, decided to join us for commercials. The next thing she said, I actually love being in front of the camera. What did she do? She went to the Market Theatre, the laboratory, and she went for drama classes. She invested in herself. Today, she's on one of the top soaps. Because why? She's continuously honing in on her craft, learning different things. So there are opportunities. I don't want people to be dismayed in this audience and thinking, I don't have a following, I'm not popular, I've never been given the platform. Get involved. Whether it be a theatre production, whether it be a small film like Mzansi film. Some of my top actors today, when they're not working on a production, they're on Mzansi films. They don't pay very well, but they're there and they're working hard.
All right.
Okay, before we go to a caller, I have Samantha next to me. And Samantha mentioned something at Enzalama auditions. Talk to us. What is this thing frustrates you, Samantha?
Okay, hi, my name is Samantha. Okay, I went to audition last year or this year? Last year or this year. And then, okay, there were over, I think, 5,000 people during that day, but not everybody got the chance to audition. So, like, for it to be fair, everybody had to be given a chance. So, like, I have a problem with that. So, because most your auditions but you don't get a chance to audition.
It was an open
Are they
audition,
supposed to be
right?
fair? Are auditions fair? If I found somebody in the first hour?
It depends what form. Like, for example, you know, if it is an audition where there's millions and millions of people, what you'll often find is that there's two panels. So there's a screen test. So they will mill people through, and they're looking for talented humans, because if you're auditioning to be a presenter, they need to know that you're going to be able to deliver when that camera rolls. I mean, what you do is not easy, and not everyone can do it. So you will find that there's a screen test first, and they will determine, okay, he or she is good in front of the camera, she engages well with the camera or with the audience, and then you will be invited to the audition phase. So if you don't make it through that initial screen test, then no, you won't get through to the audition.
Okay, saqhubeka naludaba lethu namhlanje sikhuluma about ama-auditions ngenxa yesikhathi ke sekumele sebreakini but asikutshela ukuthi sikuphatheleni mase sibuya nje kwi-Daily Thetha nakho sikuphathele khona.
There was this guy who was calling me saying he just got out of jail and he'll offer me 20K if he can get a role.
Production companies don't want to pay the rates of the established actors.
I
started off as an actress. Then after that, I became a production coordinator, which was for Rockville. And because of my acting experience and also my studying, I was very good in terms of helping actors or being the bridge between production and cast. And after that, pretty much became casting director in terms of setting up the auditions and getting people roles on the shows that we currently have and also future shows that we might have.
Che Guevara once said that revolution is the greatest act of love. Love for one's people, love for one's country. We're more than just fighters. We're lovers. All we want is freedom. Freedom for children to learn. Freedom for men to work. For mothers to love. For a nation to grow.
My love for acting starting Samnani, primary school, they were playing a movie called Aladdin and Governor Namufunguni movie after school, so I went there and then I found out they're doing a play about it, so I was like, I can be the person I was watching. So that changed everything because it made me like want to escape myself into other people, so I enjoyed that. And then it just grew from like teachers like telling me to keep doing it, my friends, and yeah, and then I just found something I could finally do.
Prosecution, please lay the charges against the accused before this court.
2 counts of murder and causing fear and distress in the public domain. My name is Solomon Mahlam. I live in Mamelodi, C2 Ndebele section. I haven't auditioned in a while. I'm fortunate enough, like I've done enough for people just to be able to like say, yo, they call me to come through, and I've worked with a lot of people in the game as well, which I really enjoy. Before, in the beginning, like I was in the line, like at the back of the line with everybody else. It was a hustle. We spent so much money doing it. I mean, to be honest, I always use this quote, but it's like, it's 3 yeses and 1,000 no's. And you have to make the 3 yeses count. I've had more than my share of no's, man.
Number one, get a good agent. That will definitely be the first thing because they will then send you to the auditions. Number two, already try and market yourself as an actor. If you already have content from stuff that you've done at school or whatever, then definitely post it and make a young show reel. Number three, if you have all of those things and if you do know certain casting directors, then you can also email your profile, and so that they can have you on their database, so that should any future castings happen, then they'll know exactly where to find you and how to contact you.
Welcome back to Daily Thetha. Namanje sakhuluma about ama auditions and trying to find out exactly ukuthi isiphi stage lapho kufika khona ukuthi awusa audition, but you just get a call. We'll be finding out that and more. We do have Lebohile Obocha, media personality. Welcome to Daily Thetha, Sisi.
Thank you so much.
And Sisi sakhuluma now, but right now let's go to Tammy in Davidton with the caller. Tammy, welcome to Daily Thetha. Mfowethu.
Hello, Tammy.
Wait, Tammy.
Dumela ka mogela.
Hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Re gona le kae? Ke na ko tabeng sis.
Okay. Comment ya ka gore wa tsa sethi re tloga for gore ya di audition. Ke kwile out mo coaching I mentioned something about being lazy. Ngabe be really lazy. Ngabe re sa tloga 4 o'clock. Re gona go tloga re ya di training while go le dangerous re gona go ya go di audition. Jwale ntshoko gore re tloga mo re di auditioning. Re fitla di auditioning ba sure happy out Nicolette. And out Nicolette ya mo tseba. Di mono go generation di mono go Daily Thetha wa nkushia se. Gomme after go fitla bona se batla go sa out Nicolette. Ha go sena ntse ke tlo dirang. I fair. Go sena go rena go fitla but don't call us, we'll call you. And like di bona ga tsa re judge ga iporegile gomme di no ba fela di fitishana go how I yes e tsuka eta o dipona. And in the meanwhile re kene school. Re kene school right stela this thing.
Kamogelo. Sesi, kamogelo. Ke gopela go botsisa. O re ge o fitla ko di auditioning o kra Nicolette re monang ko Daily Thetha re monang ko Generations. Yani Nicolette a batle mmereko.
Ntšha bona sesi Nicolette a re moganetse gore o tsoma mmereko. E fela Nicolette a ke re yena o bile gona mo industry.
So a detele nyana a dule sighting nyana for 2 seconds.
Nka no ema ga nyane out Nicolette. Le re nang ke re kene ga nyane ka la tswa ka talent reng. Ga bo tshike re kene. Ke to le re feng chance ke ntshepele re gopela go ka le re feng chance.
Ra go kwa ses.
Ka mogelo a o bukele TV
mam. Di theater ka mga tsona like di be cancelled.
Okay,
I re go kwele ses.
Let's quickly bring in Kenneth on this one. Kuyakhala ukuthi ade nabakhona ku industry and imphinde nzo audition nabatola ba.
Uzongifraza lo mntwana. Uzongifraza.
I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you where that comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from a point of where people do not look at our industry, they don't look at me as a career.
Yeah.
We look at it as something that everyone else can do. It's a career, all right? You don't say, go Dr. Shuamadi, who's been there for years, okay? And all the elderly women go to him for injection and stuff like that. You don't say, hey, go, we need new doctors.
So,
No, go, we need new teachers. Go, we need a new shelf packer, go spa.
Yeah.
No, because it's their job, right? I promise you, I'll tell you one audition that I went to some years ago. It was one of those, they call all of you, and I'm from Soweto, and I'm young. I took a taxi to Plagari, I think that's what it was. And I took a taxi, and it's like tight, take a car forever, in Nago. You know? And you get there eventually, the taxi drops you around Jan's Mats. You have to walk up, By the time you get there, you are sweating, and you are huri, plus mafura, and everything. And as you're about to get into the casting thing, there parks a nice super bike from La Tandala in his dress.
Come on.
I look at Klomla, I look at myself, I look at the sweat. I'm like,
Hey,
No, it's not happening.
Yo.
No.
So I thought, no, man.
So we are
I went all the way. I'm going to go in there.
Yes.
I'm going to go do what I have to do.
Yes.
I went on there, auditioned. Later, I called my agent and told my agent, that's like, King, you should know where to send me. Okay?
Please.
You should know where to send me. You cannot be sending me, Get Hank. We are doing the same correct. Yeah, but if I saw the late Prachoma fella and myself walking in, I was like, I got a chance. Yeah. But not that guy, But I think the most important thing what I'm trying to say to this lady is that this is a career. There's no way that we're going to expect Mama Lillian to retire right now and sit at home. Our career, we are so lucky. We can act from the age of 0 to the age of 100. And it give us that chance. And there's opportunities. I was 21 at some point. I don't play 21-year-old anymore. So there's a 21-year-old must come in somewhere. I'm playing Papa, Mama, Papa, Mkulu, Malume, and stuff.
Okay,
All
can I
right,
let's bring in Sisile Gorille and find out ukuthi kulesililo esinjengalesi abantu besifazane abaningi abancane basakhala kakhulukazi ukuthi guys we are not opening up the industry. What can you say to them as men njengalesi njengomuntu osesebenza kakhulu kwi-industry?
Yo, it's such a hard thing to answer. The people that know my work know that I'm doing 1,000,001 things, and I still want to do more things. So stop howling. Audition or stop focusing on other people. Focus on what you're there to do. My very first audition, I was in high school. No one knew me. I went to my headmaster. I said, "Yo, kiko for today, Mugel, bye bye." And I went to my audition, and I saw all these famous actors, and I was so intimidated. But I said, "Okay, seeing as I have nothing to lose, I sang. I did my dance audition. I did my acting audition. I got the part. Because if it was meant for you, it will be yours. Stop worrying. Can you imagine how many things I have been rejected for? Because I was not dark enough, because I was not skinny enough, because I was not tall enough, or because I just wasn't gifted enough for that role.
My cry, I'm not yellow enough.
I mean, there are people that wanted to be in Wakanda, but there was no room for light-skinned, dark people. Some jobs are not for you. Stop feeling entitled. And if you cannot tolerate sitting in a queue the whole day, then you're not going to tolerate actually doing the job. There's a day on the Zone 14 set, I think I arrived at 7 in the morning. One of my fellow cast members, Shem, was in trouble somewhere. They're like, you will wait. You will wait. I think we shot my scene about 5 o'clock. And I should be like, this is what I chose. So people are seeing the glamorous side, go Instagram. Lina want to be there. Let it go.
Perhaps let's bring Gabriella into the conversation and ask the question that we had posed to Sislisa Khorna. How much would it cost to market a new face for the production company? Let's say, for instance, you guys give Nicolette a chance, but no one knows Nicolette. How much would it cost to market me?
Like you said earlier, we're in the age of technology, and everything happens very swiftly. Very swiftly. I mean, from the time agents receive a brief from me to shoot, we're looking, I'm talking about commercials, it happens within a week. And productions, it's the same. It's hurry up, let's get it on screen. Producers, when a new TV show is going to get it, they've got a month. From when it gets approved, we're doing the show, to get it on air. They have to organize their crew, locations, actors, blah, blah, blah. There's a month. There's no time
to market
a new human being. Exactly what you said, teach them auto cues or teach them to act. You know, guys, and I have to second what Kenneth said. Acting, it's a career. These human beings have trained, they have gone to school for 3 to 4 years and they've honed their skill. And they constantly do. You can't just go, oh, that looks cool, I think I'm going to be an actor. I got a pretty face, I got a hot body, it's for me. No, guys, they have studied scripts, they have studied writers. You know,
just to add to what you're saying about the marketing.
Yes, we're going to come back straight with you. We're just going to have to go to a quick ad break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more. Now, some of the stuff, you know, let's perhaps maybe look at it on the other side as the person that's auditioning. What are some of the things that the person can look out for? Please stay with us after the break. Welcome back to Daily Thetha. And the auditions. I mean, sometimes, you know, you gotta try your luck. Try your luck by trying to go to all the auditions, and perhaps that's what we need to talk about, because go auditioning, you know, this role is not, it's not really for me, but perhaps somebody there in the production will see me and they'll perhaps give me another role. We are joined on the couch by the actor, Kenneth Nkosi, who is a seasoned actor. He's been every morning already. Busy man. Famous. We're also joined by a young actress, who is, I mean, you're absolutely fantastic. The color purple in theater, good work. I mean, I was like, wow. Okay, it's me.
Famous.
Thank you. All right, I've now landed this job. I'm feeling an acting gig.
Yeah.
What's the importance of grabbing that opportunity with 2 hands and running with it?
The reality here, Uguti, we were just talking about it just now during the break. There's this little thing called talent as well.
Yeah. It must feature.
Yeah, you see, people can go to school and go to school.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's people who should just say, I'm interested in the industry.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to find themselves in front of the camera.
Yes.
But there's a whole lot that happens behind the scenes, and which could still land you in the same industry. There are people that will never get roles, not because they are not educated enough, but because they're just not talented. You know, actors. And there are actors babang outside there that we've seen on television who trained over years, eh? And you could see that this one, Shem, I span. But she went on and attended little courses there and went to the market theater there, and she wanted it so bad. The persistency. And guess what? She got the role. She got the role, started acting. 20 years later in SOP, she's a household name.
Yes.
Now everybody wants her.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So sometimes it is about giving yourself that opportunity by studying. That's the first time. That's the first thing that you do, by giving yourself opportunity.
But Kenneth, let me come to you. For the longest time, you've been with industry, and again, you keep on giving us something ancient. Why? Is it because lapha a passion more than anything else? Yin legwenza ukuthi ukwazi ukuthi umove with generations kuma screens wabo.
Me, I decided this was my career. I chose a long time ago. You know, 21 years ago I started, and 24 years ago I started. I was 21. 1994.
I'm so worried about you. After democracy.
So it's 45.
After democracy. So I'm 45. So I've been here for a long time. But there's this little thing called, consistency, you know? And it goes with a lot of things, with respect of the industry, with discipline in the industry.
What is the respect
Because
of
some of the
industry?
people that I've worked with years ago, I still work with them today.
What is the respect of industry? Because for Munyamunte and Awazu, how do you respect the industry?
I was just talking to Platon Mlangeni. We're doing a show together right now. And I was saying there's nothing that irritates me like young actors who come around and say, hey, I've got a gig. This is not a gig. This is your career. The craft. Respect it, and it will respect you back. But people do not understand. You know what she was saying earlier about, you were talking about having to train actors, you know, and it takes a long time. And sometimes it costs the production to have a young new actor. But I'll tell you this, there are times where it host you to have a seasoned actor.
Yes. Okay.
There are times where a seasoned actor will break their nail and will have to wait for 2 hours because she's broken a nail.
Come on now.
Because she's never like that.
Jeez,
you understand? So that can cost you as well.
Yeah. Didn't they, I mean, when we were preparing for the show, who was on Generations for a very long time, and then boom, he gets a big role on another show. You know, what keeps you going? I mean, you're a new actress. You're also wanoka. You're knocking on the doors. What do you say to the young people out there that keeps you going? You're still going to those auditions.
Firstly, okay, so auditions is part of the process, it's part of the job. So view it more of a skill. See it as a skill that you have to like harness and hone. The more you do it, the more you practice at home with a phone or invest in a camera, practice how to do self-tapes, make your own self-tapes so that by the time you get to the audition space, you're prepared. You know, you're prepared for what you have to deliver.
Will I not become a professional auditioner though? Because
that's part of the job of an actor. You have to be a professional auditioner so that you can get yourself to the next stage of the casting calls. But then another thing is create your own content. Guys, we live in a time where the internet is booming and it is at our fingertips. Invest in a camera or even use the camera your phone and write your own material. You can even start, like what I have done, which has saved me, is I've started my own production company. And now I'm starting to create content with my own production company because at the end of the day, if you're going to sit and wait for jobs to come to you, you're going to feel despondent. You need to take into account, you need to take your career into accountability.
Just to add in on what you just said right now, when you look at technology, I was telling Nicolette, for me to get this gig at Thetha, I was in Durban. And I just used my phone. I auditioned via my phone. And then I sent them the clip and they're like, okay, it looks good. And they called me to come to Joburg. So
it sounds Zulu. It sounds good Zulu.
But it goes back to the self-marketing. I sit in a few production houses. We regularly get people who actually take the initiative to be like, hi, I know you guys don't have anything. Please, here's my stuff. Call me. They follow up. Now you're top of mind. Now when there's a short notice, you're like, there was this kid who was here. You have to do that. So when he says respect the industry, it means show up. Show up. Show up on time. Maintain good relationships. Be respectful to people because you don't get to be a Kenneth having done this since the 1920s without people being like, it's okay to still work with him. He doesn't have a reputation of people being like, we don't want to work
But did you ever feel like giving up?
I've never. This is my life. If I'm giving up, you know, it's not a choice. So if in your mind you're like, I only want to play these parts, you're not an actor. An actor will do anything that acting requires. If they say, can I shave your head? Great. When are we shaving? You need to gain weight. Great. That means you are an actor. If you're a presenter, you need to sell being a presenter. Yes, it comes with things like being a brand and growing your following and that kind of thing. But go back to the basic craft of, do I know how to do, can I read?
I mean, what did you was saying earlier about creating your own content? I mean, there was a lady earlier who spoke about sex tape. You can create that too if you want to for yourself, or you can create good content for people to know who you are.
Look at
on that
Mashile.
very same social media.
Made himself, and now he's got
I'm
jobs.
talking to you on a serious note because you can own your own thing. You know, people don't understand one thing. With this business, Prajon kind of told me years ago, it's called show business. It's not just show, it's business. And in this business, you are the CEO. You are the one who decides what's going to happen with your life. Everybody else, your agent, everybody else around you, they are there to support the dream that you have. You know, I promise you should talk about, if you know White Wedding, the movie that I played a romantic comedy. Can you play a romantic role?
You totally can. You totally can.
I created it.
Okay. Let me just quickly go to this social media before, because we're talking about business right now. Something coming from Chokozani, TKZ2. But personally, I think media companies are also run as a business. They need to make a profit. That's why they hire experienced people. But there are a few new faces. About as well. So Abantabasha Ochi, don't give up. That's a message I can get on the car. We're talking about auditions. If it's a car, just to phone and now says to Mona Kutina about this. 011-339-1315. Asambe so okay, told us after this. Welcome back to Daily Thetha. Sakhuluma about auditions. Abantu abasha banembuzo yahlukahlukene abafuna ukuyibuza namhlanje nanokuthi ikuphi okungcono nokubalekile abangakwenza ukuthi be better off. Ama skills wabo. My sister on the side before we catch because we do have Ulungisani Kamela. Wayekade ngama idols njengamanje on the couch with Nicolette. But your question.
Yes, I do have a question. We can't ignore the fact that connections do help in this industry. So I want to know how much have connections helped you? Is it the connections that help more or the auditions?
Anyone can say.
I mean, there are auditions that will help a lot, but our connections come from the relationships we created.
Yes. It's a network.
Yeah, it's networking. It's the people that I worked with 10 years ago, they still call me now. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it is very important to network and create and establish very good strong foundational relationships with producers and directors, because then that also, keeps you in their minds. And it also allows you to sort of show your capacity as someone that could actually act as an asset to their production. So when you're networking and when you're trying to establish relationships, always try to show how you can be an asset to something. So I don't have many followers, but it's also just, you don't have to be afraid of the fact that you don't have a lot of followers. I think I would advise producers and directors these days to actually think about or to observe how an artist's engagement with their supporters is. If it's a strong engagement, then because it's very easy to buy followers these days,
Really?
So yeah. Well.
Not going to keep you there at all. We're very lucky in South Africa that if a show gets commissioned, it will stay on air no matter how badly it's doing. In the States, after one episode, they're like, rubbish, they cut it. So you can't even be like, how, Nikki Egtile. Like, you got paid, boo, nobody promised you'd be on TV.
But I think also sometimes these connections, they must be the right connections.
Yeah.
Because some go production company, you let the guy run, kapa 1, 2, 3, 4, I would tepesele fast, and you just buy into it.
Not the couch casting.
I'm not saying it. Not saying
it. But a quick one,
Lungisa, I mean, I think Idols is a big stage, when you're getting into it and now you've gotten that stage. Let's talk a little bit about your dark days, the starving days, the I don't know what to do days, but I need to keep going.
Man, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to speak about, on an artist perspective.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are talking about acting.
Yes.
And for me, I can relate to so many things that, everyone has said on my perspective. I think the biggest issue or the biggest pointer would be working on your craft.
Okay.
I think said that. I think working on your craft, and for me, it's practice.
And where the
you know
hell
what I
they
mean?
teach you?
And for me, I got my biggest break obviously on the big TV show.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that before that I actually auditioned so many times for different other things, and Idols as well. I think 2014 I auditioned for Idols before I actually became successful in 2015, and I got knocked down. At Sun City, I was the first person to go home, but I never gave up. What Kini was saying, never give up and never think that it's over when you get no. I mean, I think no is what builds you and what makes you as an artist and an actor as a whole. And for me, I think that's what it taught me. It taught me to just be resilient.
And you knew that the no doesn't mean I don't have talent.
Exactly, exactly. I think for me, I realized that it meant that it's not my time yet.
Okay.
And I just need to keep working harder, and I did. And I worked harder, and I came back, and I was successful. You know what I mean? And I think for a lot of young actors and artists, what they're afraid of is rejection.
Yes.
And what they're afraid of is not practicing enough.
Yeah.
And when you're getting that no, it means you just have to go back and do hard and work harder, and it will show in the end of the day.
What personally helped me deal with rejection to the point where now I don't feel necessarily rejected if I don't get a role. And I think maybe this perspective might help other people, is that like Relebogile was saying earlier on, some jobs just you don't fit maybe the criteria, or maybe you don't fit what the producer or the director envisioned. So when you approach an audition, focus on what you can control. Outside of the audition is not what you can control. So make the experience a positive and empowering one, and a learning experience for yourself by getting there as prepared as you can, by getting there trying to show how much of an asset you can be to them, and just making it, just enjoy the moment and live in the present moment, and let the scene be what it needs to be, or the song, let the song be expressed however it needs to be expressed, or the dance sequence, express it the way it needs to live in the audition room. Outside of that, there are so many factors why you may not have gotten a role.
So don't now is that we're leaving the youth in ngaphandle. I just want to find out from you, Guti, after this truly, what is your closing comment about conversation?
Well, my question is, mangibheke eAmerica kunama-movie amaningi, kunama-series amaningi, banama-shows amaningi, ama-talk show amaningi with different faces. Why la eSouth Africa singakhona ukuyenza kanjalo, so that we grow i-talent yala eSouth Africa, sizi-expose, siyenze nathi zonke lezi zinto abazenzayo to grow the industry.
Okay, let me just quickly, before Apendule, my brother, your last question?
Hi guys, my name is Eduardo. Coming from an angle of a model and an actor, I live in a place where, in the East, where most people look up to me in my community as from just seeing me from a segment on TV. And now my question is, how do one, like for example, Bracken, how do you stay relevant to your community for people that they saw you from humble beginnings? How do you stay relevant to their eyes, as in to say, okay, he's not went from here to fame and all of a sudden he thinks he's better than us and all that stuff. How does that play a role in your life as an actor?
So the quick one, America and also irrelevancy as well?
Well, one thing that I would like to mention, my sister, America is like a continent. It's like as big as Africa. You know, it's been there for years. It's grown leaps and bounds. Our industry is this small. But trust me, when you live right now, we are so lucky that there's so many channels that are opening up. Some of us, we only had SABC 1, 2, and 3. There's more now. So growth is happening. Growth is coming. But we are not America.
Okay, ngenxa yesikhathi komele sivale uhlelo lanamhlanje, siyabonga kakhulu emakhaya ngokuthi sinikeze ithuba nendlebe yethu. Thank you, siyabonga.
But goodness, hi.